Hello, I'm Kevin Hughes, Sports and Recreation Coordinator at Turnstone. In this video, you'll learn everything you need to know about inflating your tires for both an everyday wheel and a high-pressure competition wheel. Demonstrating each step will be Turnstone athlete and volunteer Neal. If you have any questions, please email me, kevin@turnstone.org. Without further ado, I present you Neal.
All right, we're going to look at now is the Campbell Hausfeld home inflation system. This is a 120 volt unit. It only runs on electricity. It has no battery. You have to plug it into a 3-prong outlet at all times for it to work. This is your pressure gauge. I'll tell you how much how much air or pressure is in your tire and how much is filling up and when you need to stop. This next part here is the fuse. Every once in a while you will blow one, it just twists out and new units will come with another one in case you need to replace it. Turn it this way here and you can see the nozzle stores up in here and you pull it out. This is what actually pumps up your tires. Opposite side of the fuse housing is a housing where you can store say an adapter for filling up different types of tubes and maybe a needle for filling up different types of sports equipment, basketball, volleyball, stuff like that. This unit costs about $40. The cord is about 8 foot long and I just recommend you use this at home for filling up your tires. All right, so now we're looking at the Campbell Hausfeld 12 volt rechargeable inflator. And the difference between this unit and the one we went over last time is this one has an internal battery. You plug it into the wall to charge the battery, then you unplug it and it will fill your stuff up like portably without being plugged in any way, shape, or form. You do not use it while it is charging your battery and plugged into the wall. You drain the battery entirely and then you recharge it and start it all over again. This is what you want to take with you to basketball tournaments, what you want to take with you to like basketball camp, vacation, stuff like that. It is designed to be portable only. I do not recommend you use this for everyday use filling up your tires at home. Okay, so we're looking at the main part, the front of the unit. This is where almost all the controls are. There is a hole here where the AC adapter goes and it is stored down in this bottom plastic compartment here. You pull down on this little lip and this comes off. You do not want to lose this plastic cover, otherwise when you're trying to travel and such, your AC adapter stored in here will fall out. You take this part of it here, you plug it into this hole here, and when it does, you should see this light up. It will light up initially when you plug it in, but it will fade and go away until you plug this AC adapter part into the wall. You charge it, probably takes about 3 hours to get a full charge and it should last about an hour of continuous use. But again, you do not inflate stuff when this is plugged into the wall and you're charging the battery. So I will remove this for now. This part here is a fuse. Every once in a while after heavy use, you'll blow one. When you buy a new model, it comes with several. It just pulls right out and you pop a fresh one in. This turns the unit on standby. To the on position, you'll see this green light battery means the battery is good. There's a yellow in the middle for low, and there's a red for means that you need to charge it. You'll also notice when this thing is low on battery is it will sound sickly and stutter and take a very long time for you to inflate your tires. This has to be on standby for this green light, and this circular switch here will actually start inflating your tires. I will briefly turn it on. That's how the front part works. All right, we've gone over almost all the main functions of the compressor. We're just gonna flip around to the back to finish up with a few quick things. I'm gonna turn it sideways to give you a logo in case you're looking at it online, like what you wanna look like. This is the same manufacturer as the last compressor we went over. It's just different in that this one has a rechargeable battery and the last one only runs on electricity from the wall. I'm gonna flip it over this way to the back. This here is the pressure gauge for filling up your tires. It is almost identical to the pressure gauge on the home inflation system that you plug into the wall. And in this compartment here, I press down, it comes off. On the back side here, it's like a little housing that you can store your adapters, your inflation needles, and then behind here is the actual nozzle itself. This isn't extremely long, but it uncoils and pulls out and is generally long enough to get the job done. You just need to have what you're inflating fairly close to this area of the compressor. Again, you do not want to lose this plastic piece, or crud and stuff will get inside of here and possibly get into your nozzle. Make sure you keep all the plastic pieces around. It will help your longevity of your unit. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how you can kind of use a shortcut to tell if your tires are running low. There's a general principle where, depending on the weather, you probably fill them up like once every other week, so about twice a month. But there are ways to tell if you are running low. So I'm going to look at my hand here, and this is like the fattest, meatiest part where the base of your thumb is. There's a lot of padding here. You want to take that and put it at the top of your wheel at 12 o'clock if you're thinking the wheel is like a clock on the wall. Then you wrap your thumb on the inside of your tire, and you wrap all 4 fingers around your outer hand rim, and you squeeze. If there is an easy give, if it feels really squishy, your tires are low. There should be almost no give at all. If there is some give, then these tires are low and you need to put pressure on them. This is for a 1-inch basketball style tire, and these tires typically take between 100 and 110 pounds of pressure. When there is between 100 and 110 pounds of pressure, when you squeeze like this, it will be extremely rigid and not squishy at all. Once it starts to get squishy, your tires are running low. All right, now we're actually going to inflate a standard 1-inch basketball tire. I am using the compressor that is for home use that plugs into the wall, and I'm looking to put about 100 to 110 pounds of pressure per square inch. I find that it is easier to fill up your tires when you're sitting in another chair or maybe a couch or a bench at home, just somewhere that has a access to outlet so you can use your compressor. So we have our wheel here. You want your nozzle to be at 12 o'clock. Imagine that this perfect wheel, perfect circle is a clock on the wall, and at the very top is 12. Here is your nozzle. It has a cap. Notice too, I'm also doing this with my hand rim facing towards me. That way you have easier access to the nozzle itself. So I took off the cap. Now I am taking the inflation nozzle here and I'm putting it on there. You'll hear the air come out, and then I squeeze this black part up and towards you. Now it's on. I will reach over to turn on the compressor. Here is the switch. And as soon as I turn it on, I'm going to put pressure on the nozzle itself to make sure it stays on. And when I see my gauge get close to 100, I am going to pull this black part back down and tear the nozzle off while the compressor is still running. The air flow itself will help you take the nozzle off without you losing the pressure that you just put in. All right, here we go. I'm going to turn the compressor on.
Close to 100 here. Now I'm going to take it off. Now it's running here. Done.
And you can tell I'm squeezing it with my thumb at the top, and it feels very, very rigid, like there's probably close to 100 pounds of pressure in here. For a standard 1-inch width tire for basketball, between 100 and 110 is what you want. I will finish by putting the cap back on. Helps keep crud and stuff out of your valve stem. And then you're done. All right, now we are going to talk about inflating more of an everyday or an off-road tire. As you can see on the inner part, this red tire is more of a 1-inch basketball style one, but this one has more sturdy tread and is a 1 3/4 diameter instead of just a 1-inch diameter. They also make fat tires like this for everyday use in another size, which is a 1 3/8. It's just the width this way of the tire. So because these are fatter, they take less tire pressure. Whereas a 1-inch one like this will take between 100 and 110. This one usually takes around 60 to 65. But how you fill it up is generally the same. Again, here's my valve stem at 12 o'clock to make it easier for me to get to. I am going to remove the cap. This is the exact same valve stem as the other one. You just don't put as much air into it. So I'm going to remove it, which I have. I'm going to grab the same nozzle that I used before. I'm going to attach it. Here comes the air, and then squeeze this black part up and towards me until it clicks, which it has. And now I'm going to reach over to turn on the compressor. This is the exact same thing, but now I'm only looking around 60 to 65 instead of 100. And
Same thing, I'm supporting it at the bottom. Now I'm checking the gauge. Now I'm putting it off while the compressor is still running. Move the black part down and pull off.
now I take the same stem that I removed, and to keep crud from getting in your valve stem, I will twist it back on. And we're finished. Just remember that these fatter 1 3/4 or 1 3/8, they only take 65 pounds of pressure instead of 100 to 110. Okay, so you might come across in either an everyday tire or a basketball or sports tire situation where you have a funky looking valve that is too thin for your normal inflator to fit. This is called a Presta valve. These are terrible. I do not recommend that you ever order any tubes that have this style. The valve that you're looking for, the standard fat one that fits everything, is called a Schrader. In order to fill these, you need what's called a Presta valve adapter. They either are gold or silver and look exactly like this. If you do not have this adapter, you cannot put air in a tire that has a Presta valve tube. That's why I do not recommend them. If these are tiny and easy to lose, the adapters, and you must have one at all time. I'm doing this demonstration because you may come across an old tire that has this style, so I will demonstrate. So on this very thin nozzle here, there is a very small part that you twist to come off. You need to twist it all the way down as far as you can. You can see my finger hitting it is letting air out already because it's just a goofy system. Now I take the adapter and I will push it up into there. The fatter side goes first and on top, and you twist it as much as you can. Still going, a little bit more. And now it's snug. Then you would put your inflator nozzle on the same way as you would, and you fill it up. Then when you're done, you have to take the adapter off because the valve is still open right now. It's coming, keep twisting, it's off, and then you must retwist this part closed, and you're gonna let a little bit of air out because it's just really finicky and hard to work with. And there you go. Another reason why I don't like these is these are extremely narrow and sharp, and it's easy to cut yourself on. A Presta valve tube, you want to avoid at all costs, but it's still a good thing to learn how to use.
Huge thanks for Neal taking the time to go over the best practice of tire inflation. If you have questions, please email me, kevin@turnstone.org. We also have written material that highlights everything in this video. So if you're interested, please let me know and we'll get that to you.